In this video, I'll show you how to install the Unitree ROS2 package on your Unitree Go2. You'll need an Ethernet cable to connect your robot, a USB cord, and your laptop or desktop computer. First, connect the robot to your computer via Ethernet and SSH into it with SSH Unitree at 192.168.123.18 and type the password 123 to connect. If you haven't SSH'd before, check out our Go2 Basics course for instructions on how to set up the network. Once you're connected to the dog, type the ls command in your robot's home directory. If you already see a folder called Unitree ROS2, you may have installed the package already on this robot. If not, or if you found that your installed Unitree ROS2 is not working as desired, let's proceed to the next steps to set up and install it. You'll first need to connect your Go2 to the internet. I'll tell you how to connect using a phone, but if you have another way of connecting, you can skip this step. The easiest way to connect your dog to the internet is with a phone and a USB cable. Simply plug your phone into the dog with the USB cable. Then go to your phone's settings and turn on USB network tethering mode. Now, if you go to the dog's terminal and type ping google.com, you should see messages saying that bytes were received from the network. Now I'm going to go turn off the tethering and show you that if I ping google.com, it will just hang and there's no output. So if you're connected, you'll be able to see that output. Yep. The next step is to go to the Unitree ROS2 GitHub page. You can find it. I've got it over here on the left. The address is github.com/UnitreeRobotics/Unitree ROS2. So here you'll find a README with instructions on how to set up the Unitree ROS2 package. Let's work through the instructions together on the dog's onboard computer. First, we will clone the repository, then install dependencies, compile CycloneDDS, compile the Unitree Go and Unitree API packages. Then we'll test the installation to make sure things are working. Now let's get started. So for the configuration, you can skip most of this because we're working on the robot's onboard computer, so it's already meeting all of these requirements. You can go ahead and copy this git clone and run it on the onboard computer in the home directory, and it'll clone that Unitree ROS2 folder. So if you type ls again, you should see that Unitree ROS2 has showed up. Next, you'll need to install some dependencies using these apt install commands. So similarly, you can run them on the robot and type the password 123 to give yourself permissions. And in my case, it said that both of those are already installed. But in your case, it may take a few seconds to download and install some files. So next step is to compile CycloneDDS. But before doing this, we'll follow Unitree's instructions and ensure that we haven't already sourced any setup.bash. So what you can do is you can use your text editor of choice. They've suggested gedit, and I am going to use Vim to open up that bashrc file on the robot. So I did vim bashrc, and looking here, so my file was looking like this, where it was already sourcing this ROS setup.bash file. And if it was already doing that, it means you are already using ROS, but what you can do is go ahead and comment that out for now, save the file, and then if you did have to change your bashrc, you're going to need to refresh your terminal. So you can just type exit and then run your SSH command again to reconnect. And now you're in a clean environment where you can compile CycloneDDS. So to do the compilation, you'll just need to execute the commands down here. So first, cding into the CycloneDDS workspace folder, then cloning, those two packages. And watch out, that line is a little bit longer. You've got git clone address -b releases And this one might download a few files. Now cd back out one layer into the CycloneDDS workspace folder and run the build command. So for me, that took about 40 seconds. And now we can proceed to the third and final step of the installation. So you'll go ahead and actually run that source command and then run build. All right, so on my robot, that command wrapped up in just under 2 minutes. And it'll say 5 packages finished if all goes well. We can go ahead and proceed to the next section of connecting to the Unitree robot and testing out our ROS2 installation. The first step is to check the network configuration. To do this, you can type ifconfig and take a look at the listing. You'll want to identify the network interface associated with iNet 192.168.123 subnetwork. And if you're on the robot's onboard computer, it should be the .18. And that has an associated name. So on the robot, it should be ETH0, could be something else if your dog is set up differently. But yeah, so there's our ETH0. And what we've got to do is scrolling down, you'll need to open up the setup.sh file with your text editor of choice. And go ahead and edit this line right here under the CycloneDDS URI that is specifying the network interface name. So by default, it's ENP3S0, but you'll change it to the network interface that you just identified. So ours was ETH0. And go ahead and save the file. And now you're all ready to source the Unitree ROS2 setup.sh. So go ahead and copy that command, run it. And as it mentions here, if you don't want to run that source command manually every time you start up your robot, you can also add it to your bash RC. So just open it up and go ahead and add that source command right down at the bottom. Great. So now you've installed Unitree ROS2 and you've sourced the setup file to configure your environment. So now your ROS2 commands should work. So if you type ROS2 topic list, you should see a list of topics providing sensor data from your robot. And scrolling down a little bit into the examples, one thing you can do is echo one of the topics. So you can do ROS2 topic echo sport mode state. And you'll see a streaming printout of lots of data from the dog, like the foot positions, foot speeds, body height, all that good sensor data. And great, so if you've reached this point, it means you successfully installed Unitree ROS2 on your robot, and you're all ready to use it for all sorts of downstream applications, such as if you check out our drone blocks Go2 navigation and sensing course control. Those are all great ones to get started with Unitree ROS2. So hope you found some use out of this video, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.